If you're looking for a very aggressive full stainless steel catback for well south of $1,000, well then the C&L Race for the 2015 through 17 GT might just be the system for you. Now the C&L is going to pack 409 grade stainless steel throughout, including the 3-inch mandrel bent tubing, included X-pipe, and straight through mufflers, all for right around that high $700 price point. Install, according to the site, guys, is going to get a middle of the road 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here. Full bolt-on job, no cutting, that should take you a couple of hours to knock out from start to finish. But as always, hang with me for a little bit and we'll show you that install later in the video. So getting right into the sound you can expect with the C&L, and honestly guys, this thing is pretty rowdy. Now, noticeable increase in sound over C&L's other offering for the S550, which is the C&L Street. And I do actually pick up some Roush vibes here out of this option, which is the Race. And I personally love that, right? So breaking out my Wake the Neighbor scale, I had the C&L Race coming in at a strong 4 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Now the combination of the free-flowing mufflers here, along with the X-pipe, really do make for an aggressive combination, but one that still somehow manages to stay surprisingly quiet inside the car. But let's get back to those mufflers here, guys, because again, that is going to be the big difference between this system, the Race, and the C&L Street. Now the Race is going to incorporate these much smaller, straight through, almost bullet style mufflers that do allow for a more aggressive sound, and one that will certainly turn more than a few heads. Now the X-pipe that we have here is included, of course, does lend itself to a little bit more rasp compared to that C&L Street, but nothing too crazy overall. But outside of sound, the other big story here with the C&L is the full stainless build at the very affordable price point. Now the C&L is going to incorporate that 409 grade stainless steel with the Race system here, along with the quality welds and really solid fitment. Now the 409 grade stainless steel can be found throughout the 3-inch mandrel bent tubing. Of course, we got the included X-pipe here, which we've talked about already, before they pass through those straight through perforated tube mufflers, and then finally out of the rather large 4.5-inch polished slash cut tips. Now one quick thing to point out here, guys, those tips do actually feature that premium 304 grade stainless construction, which should look good for many years to come. Also, quick heads up, if you're more of a fan of a black tip instead, you can find that from C&L. Same exact price point, going to deliver maybe a slightly stealthier look. Finally guys, the C&L will include the step-down adapters that will allow this system to work with your factory manifolds or aftermarket headers that do utilize that step-down connection, and will include all of the clamps needed for the installation. Speaking of which, again, 100% bolt-on job here, guys, with the S550 catbacks. No cutting, no permanent modification needed. But to give you a better idea of what to expect on your own GT at home, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this install is an impact and a ratchet, a 15mm socket, a 13mm socket, a rubber mallet, and some spray lubricant. And if you're on a lift, you'll also need a pole jack. Hi everyone, today we're going to install an exhaust on our 2015 Mustang GT Fastback, but before we can do that, we've got to uninstall the stock system. So let's get started.
First step here, guys, grab a 15mm deep socket. We're gonna loosen up, but not completely remove, the nuts on both of the band clamps here, connecting your factory resonator to your headers. So we're just gonna loosen these guys up. All right, next step, we're gonna be at our rear subframe right behind our diff. Now you'll see these hangers connect to the subframe itself using 2 13mm bolts. Now we don't have to remove the hangers from the isolators. We're actually just gonna unbolt the whole isolator bracket from the frame. So grab a 13mm socket, and I like to use an extension to go right over the sway bar, and we're gonna remove these. Now from there, what I'm gonna do is just lift up on this and swing these guys down. There's a little locking tab here that just hooks in. We just wanna unhook that. So you may have to lift up on the exhaust and then bring it down. All right, next step, before we remove the whole exhaust in one piece, I recommend grabbing WD-40 or something similar with this needle here to just lubricate the hanger above your tips. This is gonna make removing it a whole lot easier. All right, do the same thing on the other side. Next step, guys, we're gonna take our exhaust off all in one piece. Now, you may want a helping hand if you're using a lift like we are. If you're working on the ground, it might be a little easier for you to do by yourself. I'd recommend having a mallet to knock these band clamps back a little bit, disconnect it from this side, swing it back toward the front of the vehicle, and set it aside.
Our first step is going to be to reinstall our band clamps from our stock system. Our next step is going to be installing our X-pipe adapters because our new system is quite a bit larger than our stock system. Now we can go ahead and tighten up these front clamps with our 15mm socket. Now we can go ahead and slide our clamps on for our X-pipe, getting it ready to install. Now we can go ahead and install our X-pipe, and for our purposes, since we are using a lift, we're going to use a pole jack to support the back end of the X-pipe. Remember, the support brace on the back of the X-pipe goes towards the differential. Now we can go ahead and slide our clamp on for our rear pipe and install the rear pipe. Now we can go install our hanger with the notch facing forward so it hooks into the cross member. Now we're going to reinstall the factory bolt for the hanger. Now we can go ahead and slide our clamp on for our muffler. And then we can slip our muffler onto the tailpipe. Now I recommend sticking the hanger that's attached to the muffler into the hanger on the vehicle first, and then slip the two pipes together. Now we can slide our clamp over our exhaust tip and then slip our exhaust tip onto our tailpipe. Now repeat for the other side. Now that we've got our system installed and aligned the way we want it to be, we can go through and tighten all the clamps up with our 15mm socket, and also don't forget to tighten up the hangers behind the differential with your 13mm socket. And that wraps up our review and install for our C&L Race catback exhaust with polished tips on our 2015 to 2017 Mustang GT Fastback. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here on AmericanMuscle.com.